We're gonna go with Ice Beam. Something tricky which adds extra load, which they have to unequip, and adds extra load to remember to equip later on.
I saw in one of the races yesterday, I can't remember which runner, but they missed the ceiling morph ball grab and then froze the enemy to use it as a platform with first item Ice Beam.
Yep, in SM Ret that was absolutely the intended strat.
Nice moonfall from Zeb. So do you think we're going to get a trolley seed today for us, or do you think we're going to get a more straightforward seed?
Incredibly trolly.
Alright, so Gravity at Sandpit with Varia at Shacktool.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, hi! I called it!
Reserve, you nailed it.
Gotta love the Kappa tanks.
Gravity can't be Sandpit in Varia Rando. Does that include even when Gravity can be behind Dragon?
Yeah, I thought Gravity could be behind Sandpit in this logic. That's easy to find.
Orb! Astro with an amazing backup there. Most people only know how to do that for the first two swoops and then reset the room. Astro looked like they have very well practiced how to get it on the third and fourth and so on swoops. Which is not something that most people know how to do. It looks like we have supers, so no meme route is an option.
It's too bad I like meme route, it's entertaining.
So do you think that they're gonna...
Plumst is indeed correct. Gravity tank cannot be at the... Gravity suit cannot be at the reserve tank Viridia location in this logic.
Okay. That's very nice to the runner's thumbs.
I believe Gravity for Dragon is Chozo logic, not Major Minor.
So, do you think that they're gonna be taking the same route, or do you think that they're gonna try and create route divergence?
I think it depends what we get. If there's no speed booster, then I would fully expect both runners to go down. Depending on how early a Vario shows up, we might see somebody head back up to Wreck Ship instead of choosing to Hell Run. But both of these runners are obviously more than capable of doing low tank Hell Runs, so...
Yep, both of these players are very capable of going to the Wreck Ship early, or heading down the Red Tower and doing a bunch of Hell Runs early. So...
What I think will be a major differentiator is I don't recall if either of these runners does early X-ray. Ooh, and there's the speed booster, so you absolutely could see some people head to Wreck Ship first and go up to the Red Tower now.
So for a mindset, usually going into these, we expect that the better player is going to try and make the objectively best decisions. Like the mathematically best decisions, and then a lot of times a weaker player will make a conscious decision to try and
pretty speed booster thing. I'm sorry to interrupt. His very red when he does speed booster.
Yeah, that is really pretty. And a lot of times the mechanically weaker runner will intentionally try and create route divergence. So do you think we're going to see any of that, or do you think that both of them are going into this fully confident that they are the better runner and are just going to try and think that they can take it if they both do the same route?
I definitely think azder is going to believe himself to be the better runner. He doesn't really, from what I've seen, tend to like skip out or make big gambles. Zeb, I'm especially so far, is very close to azder mechanically. I think can keep up decently. But we definitely could see, especially now that the Wreck Ship gamble isn't too much of a gamble, that's a really big play to make if you think that you need to have a differentiator.
That's true. Now they can get to the reserve.
There's Spring Ball and tons of supers, but no power bombs yet.
That is actually... Oh, if this was full logic, that should be incredibly, incredibly interesting. Because that could mean that Varia could be behind now.
No, this is just major minor, so.
Unfortunately, this is just major minor, so they're not. So they're absolutely. So they already know that they don't need to come back for that.
Well, yeah, and there's no way, unless they find Screw Attack, I believe it is technically logically possible for Screw Attack and that to be first power bombs.
That would be thoroughly interesting if the logic allowed that. It would also be incredibly mean.
It was in one of the races, and I don't recall if it was a dash race or a playoff race, where somebody was saying that that location is logically in place with Screw Attack. So.
With Screw, it's in logic. It's never happened, but it is in logic, which is fascinating.
So the Varia little statistic calculator says it's a 1.3% chance for the first power bomb to be there. However, that doesn't mean there's not other power bombs available. So you would also then have to have all the other locations not be power bomb.
And there we go. First peeps.
Green tube. And of course, so now they have isolated Edicoons and Charge Beam. So it'll be interesting to see. Azder is choosing to double back. I wonder if Zeb's going to keep on moving forwards or not.
Doubling back to Charge Beam at least. Charge Beam and Wavegate feels absolutely like the right idea.
And Waterway.
And Plasma. And Waterway. Yeah, so it's 3 locations just going back to Big Pink.
And it already pays
see whether they go all the way back to the Edicoons.
I would guess not. Edicoons can't be a suit, and they already found Plasma Beam. So, there could be a movement item there. You guys just got a pretty Plasma Beam, too.
What color is that Plasma Beam?
It's like candy cane.
So, right now we're starting to see the difference in mechanics coming into play. azder is definitely starting to pull maybe 15 seconds ahead already. And that looks like it's primarily just a difference in mechanics.
Zeb taking a safety power bomb there. Don't want to run out of spark energy and then hit the fish and die.
Yep, that was very well done by Zeb. That led to a tricky situation where Zeb had to try and do taps while the Peep explosion was going off. Which
Chat
is why Zeb
correcting me that Edicoons can be a suit. Oh, yeah, it's only the Criteria and Blue Brinstar items that can't be a suit.
azder's Plasma has been called the Candy Cane Beam, which is a beautiful name for it. And there is Charge Beam.
So now we get
Meaning
some charged candy canes.
They're basically done with item collection. Or, yeah, we'd expect azder to be done picking up missiles and supers at this point.
Well, and already have it. Zeb already having 30, and Zeb and azder having 25.
It looks like azder is going all the way back to the Edicoons. So, both of these players should be... azder is very capable of doing the speed Zeb skip. So, ice is definitely not a requirement for being done with ammo collection. And, yep, as Fluffy points out, we have 3 parts of a microwave beam now.
We've got full microwave. I would say not necessarily what he was looking for, but probably worth it.
Completely worth it. Going back for that's completely worth it. That's going to make 3 different boss fights much, much, much faster.
And if anything, I would say it'll make the runners more likely to want to head to the wrecked ship now, because Fantoon is going to be such an easy kill. Zeb choosing to check the miner and finds supers that he doesn't need.
azder is heading right back up to the wreck ship. Let's see if Zeb is gonna follow. Plasma was at charge.
And it is interesting because this is like kind of meme route, just with a little bit of double back because the power bombs to get access to these items weren't until the pipe.
And we have route divergence.
Route divergence. Zeb choosing. I assume he'll be heading down then. He could still, in theory, head up towards the wreck ship if he thought this way was faster for some reason.
Yeah, we don't actually know which way is faster. azder with an interesting spark that we've never seen before. So we just realized that was back-to-back-to-back microwave beam components.
Mm-hmm. 3 in a row. And of course, microwave beam is not part of the logic, but certainly nice to have.
Yep, we believe that for anything that you can microwave, you could theoretically kill with just a 1 missile pack. That's not true, bot wound. azder with an amazing criteria key hunter room.
Oof. Bonk. Zeb not choosing to check the X-ray room, but going to be checking Spacer. Of course, we're now looking for our 2 suits. Ooh, and there's Varia's suit.
There's Varia. That is definitely a huge advantage to Zeb, if Zeb can high jump plus lava dive, or finds high jump.
Does Spring Ball help in any way for Lava Room?
For the lava dive room?
I don't know if there's some like esoteric Spring Ball high jumpless tech
Not that we've
to
seen.
get through that room easier. Sparking to Kraid.
That's a very practical decision because how awful jump height is with speed booster.
And azder getting the fancy mock ball towards Fantoon.
Which is super impressive because normally you don't you have high jump for that, so it's a very different jump height. So with speed booster, Zeb is entirely capable of just lava sparking.
And here comes the microwave.
One shot Fantoon.
Be interesting. I'm gonna assume Zeb will still just super quick kill Kraid.
Yep.
Ooh.
Unfortunately misses it. Now
Kraid
Zeb
was
is going to
lonely
prom.
and wanted to go to prom. That was all. Good on you, Zeb, for helping Kraid out.
So with speed booster, if Zeb really wants to break into Norfair and doesn't know how to do the high jump from lava dive, Zeb could just get a spike suit and spark up.
Well, there he finds the high jump boots, so as they're
That
saying
settles that.
no to the Spacer.
So at this point we'd say that Zeb has a substantial lead.
Well, we don't know what azder's gonna. If gravity is not in the wreck ship, absolutely Zeb has a substantial lead. But if it is in the wreck ship, then I would say azder is significantly in the lead because there's without a doubt he's going to get Varia at the Spacer location on his way down after hitting gravity.
So we remember very clearly a race between azder and Becky a long time ago, where they were basically even coming out of Fantoon. Becky went and full cleared the wreck. azder left the wreck ship and just went and did the suitless Maria. Becky went and full cleared the wreck ship and found vanilla gravity, and azder actually ended up faster. So, at the level that these runners are at, they can absolutely do a suitless Meridia, losing only a couple minutes. So, gravity is not that important, especially since they have high jump already. All they need is spring ball or ice.
And if anything, like I said, Varia could be a bait if gravity is not here and somewhere in Norfair. Then we'll have to see how many extra checks Zeb feel like he needs to make before heading down to fight Ridley. And we've got a
There's
race.
gravity. And there's 3 out of 4 beams for Zeb. That is a beautiful palette. That is such an amazing palette for azder.
So now, with that find for azder, I would definitely say that Zeb is pretty significantly behind, depending on how many checks he skips and what he risks doing.
Oh, and there's a half ship.
As they're running out of spark energy.
So at this point, Zeb doesn't know it yet, but the best thing that they could do would probably be to just continue on without, would be to just do a suitless Meridia.
Bubble Mountain checks are fairly quick, and he could still find Ice Beam. He's still short 10 power bombs if he doesn't find Ice Beam. And so, as long as he restricts himself to not going to Croc yet, I think. Ooh, interesting choice. Looks like he's going to head straight down to Lower Norfair and then do the Bubble Mountain checks on the way back, which I think is really smart.
Wow, Zeb is just going for it.
Well, I think he's making the decision, right, that Croc he would do absolutely last. So because he has enough to get all the way through Lower Norfair, so he will 100% check Fire Fleet and Screw Attack Room. And then he wants to do the Wave Room and Bubble Mountain checks on his way back.
Yeah, we absolutely love this play by Zeb. It shows a huge amount of confidence. Because the risk that Zeb is taking is Zeb is going down to LN with a bit less health and ammo. Or going down to LN without the items that Zeb could have found. And both of these runners are amazing and absolutely capable of doing LN like here. But the fewer resources you have going to LN, the easier you can just make mistakes.
Yeah. Well, so what he would really like to have Screw Attack. Space Jump would also be nice, and that's really it, right? A few more E-Tanks could be helpful, but I'm not necessarily certain there's a lot that he could find that would be useful for him.
So is he actually going to check GT? Because we were wondering because there's no save above. Which means that could actually require a GT kill to get out.
No, he has Spring Ball. He can get out with that. And
oh, he has Spring Ball. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just Grapple Beam.
That is huge. That is huge. That's a setup for a suitless Meridia.
That is true. If he does decide that he wants to do suitless, which I think the next gamble we'll see from Zeb is he'll absolutely do the Bubble Mountain checks. But does he decide to gamble on gravity at Croc, or does he just gamble at suitless at that point?
Oh wow, that's a setup that we hadn't seen before. That's a really beautiful setup.
Oh, azder decides that Kraid needs a date too. I almost want to see him microwave Kraid.
So one thing that we missed is that Zeb needs gravity or ice to actually get through Botwin Hallway.
Nice fast pillars. Yes, he will need to find Ice Beam or enough ammo to Crystal Flash clip if he wants to take that path.
Has anybody actually CF'd in any race without gravity and bombs?
I don't know about the without bombs part. Zeb making sure not to get trapped in the acid here. Without gravity, getting hit into the acid is basically game over.
Zeb? Oh, never mind. We saw the short charge and thought Zeb was just gonna go straight to Ridley before checking Firefly.
Yep, if it's Ice Beam, definitely can really help. Even an E-Tank would be nice. Yep. Firefly is like, no, you're not allowed to have this E-Tank. I shall defend it with my life.
For a little while, we thought that Zeb was gonna opt to check this on the way out to save the extra 5 seconds of door transition. Which would be totally in line with the way that Zeb is playing the rest of this seed. Zeb is really, really just going for it, and has the mechanics to back it up.
As they're also choosing to skip all of the Boa Mountain checks, considering he knows he only needs 10 power bombs, 5 at the outside for go mode, not surprising.
Yeah, azder's item setup is amazing right now. And azder gets to just gravity jump all the way up there.
If you're azder, you got to be feeling pretty good about your chances because you bailed early on the item after getting gravity, immediately found Varia, already charged plasma, high jump boots after Kraid. He probably took the best route that you could.
Yeah, like we wouldn't be surprised if azder just skips screw attack entirely.
I absolutely expect him to skip screw attack. We'll probably get Firefly after Ridley. We'll probably get the item after Ridley.
And azder has full movement items going into LN, so he gets to do a pure new route, LN. Which I guess Zeb totally could have done as well. So we have Zeb fighting his Space Pelican. We don't expect either of these runners to have any trouble with Ridley.
Ridley's a space pigeon to me.
Space Pigeon. That is not one that we've heard before. We like it.
Oh. Zeb paying peekaboo with the tail. I would have liked to have him leave, like, a little bit of energy in the reserve. But I'm pretty sure Ridley's dead. There we go.
Wow. That was such a risky pickup. Ridley's tail was right there. Ridley's tail was just right there.
So
really nice time.
If you're azder, how much do you do minor hunts versus checking majors for Ice Beam?
You don't. You just keep going.
Well, right, like, I'll be curious if he looks at power bombs in jail item. He'll definitely look at the missiles before power bombs in jail. Maybe not Mickey Mouse room, whatever the one to the left on the North Air Escape is called.
Yeah, we could also see azder just... We doubt that azder is going to do much in the way of checking any items at all.
Well, he's going to need at
there you
least
go.
one more power bomb pack.
For the Metroids?
Yeah. Or Ice Beam.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many items he checks, because we haven't actually timed out how long it takes, how much time you lose from having to refill all those time, the expected time that you lose to refills.
Was that speedball that Zeb had to do actually necessary? Because he's only got 2 power bombs now to finish out getting out here. And that
No, it
definitely
wasn't.
saved him quite a bit.
We think it wasn't necessary because he has Spring Ball. If he didn't have Spring Ball, it would have been necessary.
Zeb deciding that power bombs in jail requires too much, especially how much more major hunting he's going to do. Not surprising. Going around here, just supers again.
Ridley not liking either of these players today.
Azder having 1 less energy tank.
But gravity.
And plenty of super missiles.
azder has been doing SM Impossible runs, so compared to this Ridley is easy.
Did super the wall, though.
The wall deserved it.
Absolutely. It's preventing us from getting into the baby Metroid.
So, we are really hoping that Zeb manages to find ice really soon, because that will give us a race. That will unlock Suitless Meridia.
Yeah, and obviously Zeb still having to get the Fantoon kill in, and Azder having that time save over Zeb. Looking pretty much very heavily in Azder's favor, but he still is not there yet. He'll likely make these same checks that Zeb is making right now. And if not, we'll be spending almost as much time ammo hunting.
Yeah, we honestly have no idea how much time azder is going to spend ammo or ice hunting. And like this is super interesting thing to time out. Like, in a situation like this, how worthwhile is it to do that versus just hoping for the good RNG from... hoping for really good RNG?
I figure... Well, I don't think he's going to gamble on RNG with only 1 power bomb pack. If he had 2 power bomb packs, sure, because that's at worst 1 trip that you leave for. But with only 1, that's leaving after almost every room.
With 1 P pack, there's like something like a 10% chance that you only have to do 1 refill.
Interesting that Zeb keeps on grabbing missiles, also chooses to take the bombs.
Actually, that is really interesting, because normally players will grab up to 15 missiles for Fantoon, but Zeb already has the microwave beam. So, guesses in chat. How many P packs do you think are in this entire seed? We'll find out. We'll find out in the credits.
Yeah, my assumption for why Azder would probably check Bubble is that all of the items, all the majors there, have 1 to 2 minors along the way. And those are going to be some of the fastest minor checks available to Azder anyway.
That makes a lot of sense. So we have a vote for there being just 1 P-pack in the entire seed.
So now here I think is the choice of, do we have a possible race or do we have a... well, I guess I don't think it matters either way, because it'd be interesting to see if Zeb goes to Croc here. But you can
Honestly,
see
I
that...
think that Croc makes a lot of sense here.
No, it looks like azder is choosing to skip the Bubble Mountain checks.
We assume that azder has run low percent speed at some point, which is a category where you absolutely do have to powerbomb the Metroids with only 5 peeps. Yeah, so at this point, azder is very, very strongly in the lead.
Yeah, if Zeb finds Ice Beam down here, and there is literally only one Power Bomb pack in the game, then Zeb might be able to pull ahead.
Even then, a suitless Meridia costs about a couple minutes, is our estimate.
No, because azder can't. He either needs a PB pack or Ice Beam to be 2 PB packs or Ice Beam to be able to get through.
No, azder has speed and gravity.
Oh, duh! I'm being very silly. You're completely right.
So the extra PB pack or Ice Beam is entirely for the Metroids.
Quick, crowd control. Turn off azder's speed booster.
Yep. So azder's Mount Everest right there is a very, very old Mount Everest backup, and it's also used in Hundo map, and it's incredibly useful when you're if you're doing 3 tank runs while still attic sparking, because that saves 70 health and only costs about 2.5 seconds.
And there's the Ice Beam for
There's
Zeb.
the Ice Beam.
Now, so that's the best possible thing he could have found there, since we know gravity's not there. So we'll see if he makes the choice now to jump into Suitless Meridia. But I can't imagine getting the time back with Ice Beam gone. And he's still looking for Power Bomb packs. Or, nope, just wanted to get that jump set up.
Yep, so we absolutely expect Zeb to go for the suitless thing here, because there's so many places where gravity could be that.
No, for him, the only place it could be is it's either in the wreck ship or in Meridia. So it's basically a 50-50 gamble for him, and I bet if I were him, gotta gamble on gravity at Bot Wound, or might check Mama Turtle.
So we think that with only 1 PB pack, you're expected to have to take two refills in the Metroid rooms, versus an extra PB pack would bring you down to 1 expected refill,
Oh,
and a 3rd pack would take
PB
you down to 0. We found our 2nd PB in the seed.
There are at least 2 power bombs in this seed.
So one of the big questions we have now is how much time does a refill cost?
azder also will have a hard time of baby skipping. Will have to get the speed Zep skip, and will not be able to do stand up. Whereas Zeb should be able to accomplish all of those things.
And there we go, the suitless. So stand up is worth about. Oof.
Doesn't get the entry though.
Oof. So stand up is worth about 12 seconds. Ah, sure is checking more stuff.
Well, yeah, he absolutely is going to check the ones along the way that he can. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him go through Gauntlet to get to Mother Brain. Yeah, I agree with chat. Was kind of surprised that azder didn't go for Aqueduct. That being one of the most minor dense locations here in Meridia.
Definitely going for it now. Definitely going for it now.
Ooh, Zeb
Oh.
killed the fish. Can spring ball jump. Missiles and...
Oh, unfortunately, it doesn't get the jump over the missiles.
Oh, there's a power bomb.
There's another
pack.
peep.
And there's one for
There we go.
That's what he's looking for. Oh, but
there's
another one.
Pack.
They're just all in Meridia.
Dragon hoarding all the peeps.
So do you feel like if gravity was at Mama Turtle, do you feel like Zeb would save time by finding it there? Almost.
At Mama Turtle, probably. At Sandpit, we'd say probably not.
Looks like Zeb is choosing to check the Mama. And of course, keep in mind Zeb also still has to shooting the
Tickle the fish.
Doesn't have grapple, so does what he can. Also, unless Zeb can pull off the legendary Fantoon skip, I think he will have to still head to the wrecked ship.
Azder is checking even these on the way up. Azder really wants that third peep pack.
I think if he finds one here, it does save him time. And if you notice, he's checking... Well, the places he's checking are a lot of power bomb locked locations because the game likes to put power bombs there.
Now we're really curious in how the math works out on this. Whether it actually saves time to... Whether it's actually worthwhile time-wise to go for checks like this. To save one round of refilling.
Well, refilling is what? Depending on... In the fourth room, it's like 20, 30 seconds? No, more than that. Probably like a minute.
And these checks right here probably cost close to a minute. Maybe not a full minute, but at least 30 seconds. For just a chance at peeps. It looks like Zeb is going to pick up another powerbomb pack here.
No, I think he's just using that to... Nope, he is going to go for it. Interesting. Not sure why he feels like he needs these. He doesn't need to Crystal Flash anymore, and he has Ice Beam to do Ice Beam skip. And he knew they were Peebs, so...
No gauntlet from Azder, so... Here's to hoping for the low probability 2 powerbomb drops.
I think regardless, he's got pretty good shot of staying ahead of Zeb here. Zeb's still making his way slowly through Suitless Meridia, and then it's going to follow that up with having to go kill Fantoon.
Okay, so Azder is entering G4 with only 9 powerbombs. Azder is basically accepting that one refill is going to need to happen.
Well, I think the chance that B-Tom doesn't drop a power bomb in the ceiling is very low, and he just happened to get it. And then when he got it, he was like, "Oh, okay, give up, let's go."
Should be 1 out of 256, same as a cat not dropping a super.
And he also laid a power bomb early there for some that only hit one Metroid. So yep, he's just like, okay, I'm gonna go refill. I wonder at this point with how low he's gonna, because he'll have. Okay, yeah, he'll just need 3. So if he doesn't get any drops. Oh, choosing to turn around now.
That's actually really smart. That saves a couple extra door transitions.
Since he knows how unlikely it is he'll be able to do it, yeah.
Yeah, you need a 1 out of 1 out of 8 cubed chance in order to be able to do it from there. So Zeb is pulling off an amazing suit list, but unfortunately azder's early gravity find just put them way too far in the lead. We've been incredibly impressed with both of their play. Like, Zeb has just been going for it. Really just been going for it.
Azder getting 1 from the Kegos. Ooh, looks like he's going to go down and do the Brinstar farm. Or nope, just going back for the Kegos. Gets another one.
One more.
Wonder if he'll, nope, just using the guaranteed ones from the B-Toms up here.
And here we have another microwave beam.
This time azder not getting trolled by 1 out of 256.
So yeah, this
Zeb.
is a very well played seed by Zeb. Unfortunately, azder just got the better luck.
Oh, I would say I think it was also azder read the seed better.
Is that gonna... Wait, did that hit all 3 Metroids?
We'll find out here. Nope. So now he needs a drop. Headed back up. Fortunately for azder, that's not likely going to cost him anything, but... Yeah, I really liked azder's route, because after the backtracking to Edekun's, and then you're in a great spot to head up to the Rick ship, I almost would bet that even if he didn't find gravity at the energy tank room, that he would have skipped attic.
Yep, that's very much so an azder special.
And you've got Speed Booster already to get the quick over there, and that way you don't have to do the backtrack at the end of the game. Oh no, Zeb!
So, there's some arcane trickery that you need to get out of here. So what you need is you first need to get knockback low off the spikes, then you need to do a crouch jump, and then you need to start doing spin jumps to get out. It's an incredibly tricky thing to do. It is possible, but it's also incredibly difficult, and it requires some arcane knowledge, so... It does not look like Zeb, has that knowledge.
He's got grapple, is it not... Can you not get to the blocks?
We don't think you can get to the blocks with just grapple. We think you have to, knock back low, crouch jump, and then start spin jumping. You can grapple out.
Reserves. He's gonna crystal flash. Oh, doesn't get the crystal flash.
Unfortunate.
Oh, that
really
sucks.
Unfortunate.
Well, at least Zeb knows that it likely would not have cost him the race.
Oh wow, Zeb is still going for it. Zeb knows it's possible that azder dies to Mother Brain.
Well, hearts out to Zeb for Never giving up, never surrender.
That's how you make it to the finals. Even when something like that happens, you keep going and keep pushing. Azder really going for the baby skip. We wonder if this actually saves time at this point. Success!
Of course, he's also at so low energy. I almost wonder if he would have benefited from going, because I guess I don't know how much is in his reserve tanks, but
Yeah, so if Azder, yep, and this is exactly why Zeb is continuing. Azder is, at this point, Azder is, does Azder have enough ammo for this?
he's gonna have to go refill. I think. Maybe
No,
not.
no, 9 and 9 is perfect. 9 and 9 is perfect.
As long as he doesn't accidentally hit a Rinka.
Yep, if he misses one, then Azder has soft lock and Zeb is in the lead. If a turret snipes one, then Zeb is in the lead.
You can see he's being very careful.
If Azder
Gets
doesn't
it.
have enough in that reserve, Zeb is in the lead.
And he's got a full reserve, I believe. But if he takes a single or hit or two, might not be enough.
Yeah, this is so close.
And it's I don't recall how many plasma shots it is.
40.
40, yeah, not 20. Oop, takes a French fry.
Okay, so Azder needs at least 200 HP. If Azder has a full reserve, Azder needs at least 200 HP before going into catch up.
It's gonna be close. Looks like he's got it though.
That's it.
Don't accidentally run into Mother Brain.
157 HP to spare.
Ooh, that's so close. I gotta wonder if there's people who, when they were playing this game as kids, never actually understood how to not die to that.
Yeah, Zeb is still amazing for continuing after that death. Like, continuing after that death is absolutely amazing. On the off chance that, just on the off chance that Azder dies to Mother Brain.
And I am sad we're probably not going to get to see Zeb chooses to go to the wrecked ship now that he knows that gravity has to be there.
We don't think that Zeb knows that for sure, but we definitely expect Zeb to go to the wreck ship, just because more knowledge will be acquired that way.
I believe he's checked every item that gravity can be at except X-ray scope.
Gravity can't be behind Dragon?
Not in this logic, only in Chozo.
Okay. And right here, we are about 70 seconds away from Azder taking the first victory.
So as we all said at the beginning, this was game 1. The game 2 of this match will be played tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
And that will be full logic.
No, Chozo.
Oh, that's Chozo?
Correct.
Okay.
Game 3 is the one where... So if Zeb takes game 2, then the runners will veto one logic. One runner will veto a logic, and the other runner will pick between the two logics for boss randomizer.
And we are definitely hoping for a game 3. As much as we want azder to win, we would like a game 3, just because this was a super amazing race.
And boss randomizer with full logic is always hilarious.
And GG, azder has finished in first place with an official SRL race time of 51 minutes and 10 seconds. That was amazingly fast. GG.
And with that, Zeb has chosen to forfeit, so we will see if we can get the runners in for an interview.
Looks like Zeb has agreed to an interview. Have not heard from azder yet. Hello and welcome. How did you feel about that race?
I feel like I felt like I played pretty well overall, other than like the death. And Suus Maria is really bad for me. I think it was kind of exposed that I'm not the best Suus player.
I think with azder obviously made the choice to go up to the wreck ship, and he found gravity there at the E-tank room. I think if gravity had not been in the wreck ship, you would have been much better off, because really like the play to go on to Lower Norfair and check Bubble Mountain on the way out. And up until that point, you guys were very close. So definitely, definitely, I think overall it was a good run from you for that.
Gravity would be in Suitless. Either at Mama Turtle or at Potwoon. Once I saw Ice at Croc, like, that's everything for Suitless, so I thought there was a good chance that it was. But once you have everything for Suitless, that's when you know for sure that it's not Suitless, because the seeds like to troll you like that.
Well, you only got everything needed for the X-ray combo within like 10 seconds.
Yeah. For quite a while. That was pretty annoying. Ready to go.
Yeah, that's one I think of the downsides of how the game distributes the power bombs, where it tries to make it so that way your first power bomb is something that you might have to hunt for, and so by doing that, it like locks all the power bombs in the late game.
Yeah. That's gravity. Looks like E-tank wreck ship. Okay, so it was still in the bottom of wreck ship.
Yes, and azder did bail on attic. Skipped attic, yes.
Okay, yeah. Seems like, don't think there could have been much up there.
So I think so the big decision point that really set this race is you guys had the late power bomb pack in the pipe, and then doubled back, got a bunch of great items, but no really progression at charge and wavegate, and then both of you went back to check the Etikun's item. azder chose to head up to the wreck ship at that point, and you chose to head back. So what do you think was, why head back versus up, or what do you think of the pros and cons there?
I like to head down in general, and I also know that azder tends to like to head up when he doesn't have anything. So, given that, like, azder is the better runner, I kind of want to make some divergence, and I'm, like, doing what I normally would do anyway. So I went down. Yeah, that's most of the reason. Also, like, there's a good chance there's nothing at Rick's ship. Like, a lot of the time that happens. But wasn't the case here, so.
I'm curious. Let's take a look at the stats page and see how likely it is to have something useful in the.
Like, I guess speed or ice or whatever, like, other stuff can be really useful. But I'm mostly talking about, like, required items.
So, what's your mentality going to be going into game 2 now that game 1 now that you got the worst RNG in game 1 and got unlucky with where gravity was?
Like, I don't know. I don't think that I'm supposed to play any different, like, whether I'm up a game or down a game or whatnot. Like, I think that whatever I'm doing, like, I'm supposed to do the same thing and try to give myself the highest probability to win each individual game, so.
That's an awesome mentality, and that's the mentality that got you to the semis.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually my first loss since week 1 of this tournament, so that's kind of crazy.
Oh, wow.
We're all hoping that you can take game 2 and give us a wonderful, full randomized boss rando for game 3.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Just if you, I was curious. So the probability that just straight up from the beginning, so not including finding the speed booster, the probability that Varia is in the wreck ship is 17%, and the probability that Gravity is in the wreck ship is 20%.
7% overall, or 37, excuse me.
Yeah, and right, it's way too complicated to figure out how it would actually add up by the time you.
Yeah, given that we didn't have anything, there's a much higher chance that there's something there. But like I said, I think I'm supposed to try to force some divergence. Like, not too much, not go out of my way too far to do it, but
yeah, we were talking about that.
I think it's reasonable to go down or go up in the seed. So I just wanted to do the one that was less likely that azder would do.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, and you were very successful with that. You successfully created the right divergence you wanted, and that was absolutely the play to win.
Mm-hmm. Disappointed I died in Suitless. Like, even though I wouldn't have won anyway, like, I kind of wanted to just go through full Suitless anyway, because it would have been cool.
Chat was saying they think there's some way to get out of that, and so was Freyas.
There is a way to get out of that, but it's pretty black magic.
Flash suited out of Dragon's room, and then Springbow jumped out of Precious' room. So.
Oh no, we're talking about the.
That's why I picked up.
We're talking about the sand pit that you got caught on.
Yeah, I actually. So. Somehow. I actually, for a little bit, I had the crouch jumps down, and I just couldn't get them enough. Like, I got a couple of crouch jumps in a row to get out, but I couldn't get enough of them in a row to actually get out. So.
Yeah, that was a super unfortunate death.
Yeah, without gravity or space jump is really, really tough. And I need to work on doing that a bit more.
We did applaud your going forwards, though, especially as we're watching azder and his mother Brainflight, where he had exactly enough missiles and supers to get past phase 1, and then got past phase 2 with only 57 extra energy.
Had he saved it all?
Nope.
Maybe at some point during the race, but we weren't sure.
So the reason I decided to keep going is because I know azder. He has died in a number of races before, and I don't think that he tends to save in general. So I thought there was a chance that he would die like at Mother Brain or Softlock or something.
Yeah, I think he
So-
had like a ship save or something on his way to wreck ship.
Okay.
So it would have basically been a who can run the spoiler seed the fastest at that point if he had died.
Yeah. Yeah. And to go to wreck ship first after dying. There was a chance that gravity could have been at left sandpit because I didn't check that. So I just decided to do suitless instead. But
So in Major Minor, gravity can actually not be at left sandpit.
yes, I think it can.
The statistics sheet says it can't. In
Playoff one up?
Yep.
Or is that just the season races?
Nope, I'm looking at the playoff statistics.
Okay. Yeah,
I thought
it's,
it could too, and
Dash.
chat
It's
told me
Dash. Yeah. I was thinking about Dash.
Yeah, you mean what you were running all day yesterday? Makes sense.
I was also thinking about checking early X-ray after my death, because there was a chance that gravity could have been there too. Never ended up checking that.
Yeah, the early X-ray
Checking-
check is always an interesting gamble for people to make.
Checking it with less than 3 E-tanks, and preferably about 4.
Well, you just can't be sloaters
after
and just
dying-
get it every time.
It's not about getting there, it's about getting back. Like, I'm not worried about getting there at all. Getting back takes a lot of energy, so
Good point.
unless you're like really good at it.
Well, it sounds like azder will not be joining us for an interview. So, anything you wanted to say going into Game 2? I believe Game 2 is tomorrow.
Yep, it's tomorrow. I think we have it at 7 Eastern.
Yep,
7
tomorrow
PM?
at 7.
Yep. So-
Unfortunately, I will be at work
Not
because
really.
I'm on the West Coast, but I'll catch the VOD.
Hopefully it's a good seed for me.
We are hoping that you get an exciting seed, manage to create wreck divergence. And we hope that it's a really close and fun race, regardless of what happens.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, same.
Well, big shout out to the runners. Thanks for giving us good entertainment. Thanks to Mensa for tracking and Prayas for co-commentating.
And thank you so much to Linares for co-commentating with us.
And then don't worry, Tracy, we're getting there. We'll look forward to the remaining semifinals matches and then the finals coming up after that.
This tournament is almost over, but there's still so many exciting matches, and we're very looking forward to that.
And with that, we'll let everybody go. GG, and we'll see you next.
GG.